Faust.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of WEEU's feedback program, live on your radio, 8:30 a.m. The Voice, WEEU, and online, WEEU.com. I am really excited about today's show, folks. You know, we've been talking about property taxes, eliminating school property taxes since 2003. I remember then State Representative Sam Rohr had a plan called the Commonwealth Caucus. And I took a read, I read the plan, I thought, but then I read it again, I thought, maybe. So here we are. We're going to be talking about property tax elimination plans all morning long for the whole 3 hours of the broadcast. It's a very special show. We're taking your phone calls as well. 610-374-8800, 610-374-8800. It's toll free anywhere in Pennsylvania. I know we have a lot of folks listening on the World Wide Web today at WEEU.com, all across the Commonwealth in all 67 counties. And we welcome you all to join us today, 1-800-323-8800. That's 1-800-323-8800. Let me tell you about what's going to be happening this morning. We're broadcasting live at the Boyers floor covering on the Kutztown Road in Laureldale. EyesOnPennsylvania.com, EyesOnPA.com is sponsoring the special event on school property tax elimination bills. So come on out. Learn about House Bill 76, Senate Bill 76. We've got free food and beverages. You can meet and greet some of your state representatives and senators. But more importantly, we're here to dispense some good information and to educate you and get your questions answered about school property taxes this morning. And we've got some wonderful guests lined up for the entire 3 hours of the broadcast. And let me introduce Rich Shuker. He's one of the co-founders of EyesOnPA.com. And Rich, I couldn't do the show without you, so thank you so much for putting this all together. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
It's going to be a historic morning, right? This is a great event.
Yes, it is. I think it's going to be a grand slam for the state of Pennsylvania.
I agree with you. Yeah, tell us, Rich, about today's show. How did this all come about?
Well, it came about, we started the Eyes of Pennsylvania to educate the people. Being totally nonpartisan, but educate the people. And our committee got together, we discussed this, and what better way to educate the people than broadcasting it through the great Mike Faust.
Oh, you're very kind. At WEU, of course. What do you want people to take away from today's show?
Basically two things. The knowledge of how we are being misrepresented and misguided with the legislators in Harrisburg. The facts, so they have them to fight the legislators in Harrisburg. And to try to get an effort together totally across the state to let the legislators know we've had enough. These taxes are unconstitutional, they're discriminatory, and we need to have them eliminated, and we need a fair tax.
You asked me to read something right out of the gate, Rich, and I'm happy to do that. This is Article 1, Declaration of Rights from the Pennsylvania's Constitution here, and it's number 1, inherent rights of mankind. All men are born equally free and independent and have certain inherent and indefeasible rights, among which are those of enjoying and defending life and liberty, of acquiring, possessing, and protecting property and reputation, and of pursuing their own happiness. This is important stuff.
Isn't that an incredible statement?
Yes, it is.
And I believe the legislators need to understand what that means.
Do they understand what that means? Have they
I don't
lost
no,
the
I don't
meaning?
think they understand that. And they don't understand the writings of our founding fathers. Supreme Court Justice John Jay stated, "No power on earth has the right to take our property from us without our consent." That's a Supreme Court justice. I believe he understood more about the Constitution than our legislators do today, and I wish they would follow the founding fathers.
All right, so tell us a little bit more about Eyes on Pennsylvania. In fact, let's bring in George Guisewhite. George, come on over here. He's another co-founder, and he's also the webmaster, EyesOnPA.com. We're going to give that website out a lot this morning. It's EyesOnPA.com. Good morning, George.
Good morning.
I like your shirt.
Thank you.
I support House Bill, Senate Bill 76. No tax should have the power to leave you homeless.
Exactly. Reason why we started the Eyes in Pennsylvania, we're a non-member organization. We're not politically affiliated with Democrats, Republicans, Independents. We're here basically to educate the people. That's why we started the Eyes of Pennsylvania. We have people that are signing up for our website. We send them email blasts of what's happening.
So you just want to inform the public?
We want to inform the public. We want to educate them.
Yes.
We've been asleep too long. So as a result of that, the more the people learn, the more they become educated about not just this particular bill, but about what's going on, the better informed they're going to be so they can vote the right way.
It's time to stop standing on the sidelines, huh?
Exactly.
Everyone needs to get involved. Everyone has a role. All right, can you read us your mission statement? Rich, you want to read that, or George, you want to read that? By the way, on your website, eyesonpa.com, there is a litany. You guys meet, is it weekly or monthly?
Monthly.
Monthly, okay.
All right, a mission statement. Our purpose is to educate and activate the citizenry of Pennsylvania. Our goal is to keep the people abreast of current events by delivering factual commentary pertinent to the lives and liberties. Our commitment is to expose only that which upholds our constitutional rights and freedoms. And our hope is to encourage the citizens to take an active role to preserve and advance the vision that our founder, William Penn, had for our state.
Hey, there's good news, guys. There's good news this morning. We've got another sponsor, another co-sponsor as of yesterday, I believe. It's the number's up to what,
91.
91.
And 23 senators.
And we have 23 senators. We need 26.
26.
So we're getting closer.
Yes, we are.
That's really good news. All right, Rich, you want to share with us, you're the numbers guy, but you're going to give us a little history lesson on school property taxes as we get ready to go to our first break. Educate us, Rich. How far back do we have to go when we're talking about school property taxes? Because I would imagine they weren't always a burden. They weren't always a major problem for Pennsylvania homeowners. That was only until, what, the last 10, 20 years or so that they really became a major problem.
Became a major problem in 1965. Actually, property taxes or school taxes was started in 1843. But in 1843, the majority of the people that owned property were wealthy. Okay?
Just like in the beginning of our country, only those landowners were the ones who voted, right?
That's right. I'm sorry, 1834 is when that was. So from 1834 to 1947, that's the way education was funded. And it was never a problem. But in 1947, they created Act 481. And what 481 did was allow school taxes to charge taxes. But it was not designated for school. It was designated to pay off the state debt.
Ah.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? Now, with all of that, in 1953, the governor at that time decided what we needed is another designated tax for schools. And it was a 1% sales tax.
1%? Wow.
Yes, and that was done in 1953. Actually, I have the documents here with that for you, Mike. The problem happened in 1965 with Act 511, which, if you look at the act, it's the Tax Everything Act.
The Tax Everything Act.
Everything Act.
Okay.
With the local fees, you work there, you pay a tax, you live there, you pay a tax. That was the starting of the Tax Everything Act.
It all went downhill from there.
It went totally downhill from there. If they want to fix this, they either have to pass House Bill 76 or repeal the acts of 1947 and 1965. Now, we've had a lot of reform, but we've never had it fixed. And the only way you're going to fix this problem is just totally eliminate it.
I'm just going to ask you, when you say property tax reform, we're talking more property tax elimination, because reforms have not worked in the past, have they?
That's correct. Reforms have never worked. Every time they do a reform, they still allow the school districts to raise taxes. They still allow the counties to raise taxes. So the only way we're going to eliminate the problem on our property and stop the massive foreclosures and tax liens is to eliminate this tax and put it to bed. Actually bury it. Let's have a funeral for it.
Was it Act 1 when they passed the law about allowing casinos, slot machines, slot parlors in Pennsylvania? And I remember then Governor Ed Rendell said, this is a historic day for Pennsylvanians. And we look at our tax bills now and we see a $200 deduction, a $100 deduction, a $50 deduction. That's nice. But wouldn't it be nicer to have all of the taxes, the property taxes deducted? Zero.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Mike. But also, Shaft in 1970 started that. That's when that first started, and Rendell ran off of that. So we've had a failure of this system with this reform since 1970.
All right, so set it up then. For the rest of the program this morning, we have different theme hours. Next hour, we're going to be talking with some realtors, guys. And they're going to tell us about the real estate side of property tax reform or elimination and how that would really benefit the economy statewide.
Yes. We have 2 realtors coming in to discuss that.
And then we also have, is it Jim Rodkey, who's going to be with us with the 912 project, and they're from Lebanon County?
Yep.
That organization?
He's going to be talking about the myth of local control.
Great. And then we also have some state reps that you've invited to call in throughout the morning, and I think there are going to be a couple coming here as well. We're going to pick their brain because they've been on recess over the summer, and many of them have been working, much to their credit. They've been trying to garner more support. So we want to get an update as to where we're at, and do they feel optimistic, gentlemen, that we will get enough co-sponsors, because we need to get this thing out of the House Finance Committee and also out of the Senate Finance Committee. We need to have it onto the full House floor, the full Senate floor for an up or down vote, correct?
That's correct.
Is that the ultimate goal?
Yes, see, we need to find out who the Patriots and who the Redcoats are in Harrisburg.
Is that what it is?
That's the Patriots and Redcoats. The Patriots are going to get this bill through, and the Redcoats are going to fight us.
EyesOnPA.com. You can sign up for free email blasts or email alerts. Also, we have David Baldinger, who's working tirelessly throughout the summer months. My goodness, he's going to be in Scranton tonight. I think he's been in about every county that they're all 67 counties, you guys, over this year. But he's been working really hard, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
And he's with the Pennsylvania Taxpayers Cyber Coalition.
That's correct.
And that's ptcc.us. Yeah, we're going to be giving a lot of information out this morning, so if you have a piece of paper, a pen, pencil handy, be ready to write some information down. And Rich, you're the numbers guy. You're one of our regular callers, semi-regular callers on feedback. You've got a lot of interesting stats and facts that you're going to be sharing with us this morning. And quite frankly, some of these are disturbing.
Yes. Actually, I have the IFO report. I actually have the House bill. Benninghoff talked about the Michigan report. So I downloaded it, researched it, studied it. I studied the Texas analysis. And the people need to start getting the facts of what's going on, not listen to the rhetoric of Harrisburg.
All right, we also want to thank Dave and Dottie Kircher from Boyer's Floor Covering. Guys, they opened up their store today because they believe in this cause. And we also, there's a bunch of other people who, this is a wonderful thing, Rich, when you guys went out to the community, you went to the small mom and pop businesses and you said, we'd like to do this live broadcast where it's all about property tax elimination. You had a lot of support, a big response, didn't you, Rich?
Yes, we did. There must have been 10 or 12 businesses. I don't have a list right in front of me, but I would like to announce them on the air.
We'll do that this morning.
Construction people, realtors, people that are hurting because of these taxes.
These are real people.
Real people, real businesses.
You got it. Gentlemen, thanks for starting us off. We're going to take our first break. Again, folks, at any time, if you've got a question or a comment, give us a call today. And I'd love to hear from some of you folks listening out there in Western Pennsylvania, maybe up there in Erie, Pennsylvania. Give us a call, 1-800-323-8800, or locally at 610-374-8800. We're going to take our first break. We're going to have more. Stay with us. Thanks, George.
Here's the exclusive 3-day AccuWeather.